Hey kids, you're listening to the internet's wettest podcast about video games, consoles, and pancakes. The SML Podcast.
Prepare for the SML Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is the SML Podcast. I am your host, Joe. Joining as usual, Jacob and Bree are here. We don't know where Aki is. What, Jacob?
Well, yeah.
I said, what?
Your mic cut out.
Yeah,
Again? Twice?
Yeah.
it always
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, I just can't make high-pitched noises.
Nope.
Whoa!
In some other potential bad news, I apparently have a thunderstorm rolling in, so
Me
here's hoping I don't lose
too.
power.
Oh, yeah, we had that earlier today. Wait, is there another thunderstorm coming? I'll check.
Oh,
Because, yeah, we had ours around, 4 p.m. earlier today.
mine's happening, presently.
Yeah, I
Nice.
just
Get
heard
over
the first
rain.
thunder rolling in. Yeah.
So it might be
Yay.
cutting, so this episode might, crap out halfway through.
Aki just replied on Steam. She's like, hello. Oh, shit, be right there.
Nice.
Oh, beautiful. I love
yep.
it. So how are your weeks?
It's been pretty busy. I'm still catching up with stuff from, being on vacation for a week. I had some good food earlier. I made some chicken fajitas with habanero wine, and I actually made it early enough that I could eat it and enjoy eating it and relax a little before the show instead of shoving it in my face hole 2 seconds before the show and sitting here burping for 15 minutes with my mic on mute.
Why do you mute? Let him
Because I'm a
rip.
lady.
Let him rip.
He's delicate, unlike us.
Aki would let him rip, right?
Sure.
She lets lots of things rip.
Hey,
we all have
Aki's
to
here.
fart
Someone's
sometimes.
late.
Just a lot of bit,
And it's
yeah.
not me for once.
Yeah.
He was here early. He was here 5 minutes early.
Whoa. I was here 10 minutes early.
He was.
Thank you very much.
8.
Shut
Well,
up.
congratulations.
Just roll
You
it
were
up.
here before me for once in, 8-9 years now?
Yeah.
I
Congrats.
offered him to start early, and he was like, no, we could wait a few minutes for Aki.
Always start early. Ignore me. What is wrong with you?
He was being nice to you.
Don't be nice to me. Don't ever do that. No.
I'm making you feel terrible.
No, not really.
Yeah, deep down inside, I know you are.
If only. That would require me to feel that emotion.
All right,
True.
group hug.
It's even more awkward.
Yeah.
It's even more awkward when you know that I'm not wearing a shirt right now,
Oh, all right.
Good night, everybody.
just for Aki.
Oh, Lord. So, again, how is everybody's week?
Decent.
I don't know. It's just been a week. I'm looking forward to the weekend so I could just sleep in and stuff.
That's fair.
And my weekend is so busy. What the heck? I wish I could sleep.
How busy is it?
It's so busy. Aki and I have to play a game before it leaves Game Pass, and I've got review games to play and
With Aki.
cleaning to do. Yeah. Yes, with Aki and other people that are going to help. So, yes.
Okay.
Man, y'all are going
I
to
got
be busy.
Halo to play on Sunday. Yeah, I got a very, very busy game weekend, and I have a cat that is trying to chew my keyboard cord again. All right, no.
Very good.
Stop being a goblin.
Very good.
Thank you.
Oh, man. I had a crazy week. We were doing the show on Tuesday. Aki was here for this, and my Assassin's Creed statue broke mid-show.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
Yeah.
Which one?
The Assassin's Creed Origins.
It just like shattered? What happened?
The piece or the spot where the foot connected to the base just snapped off.
Weird.
There was like a piece of metal in there that was supposed to keep it in, but the plastic was just like, nope, we're good. And it just snapped and it fell onto the TV. And I'm looking around like, did a cat knock something over? Nope, just broke.
That's
Wow.
that's the Egypt one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was just like, dude, if it's one of the ones I have, I'll just send you my thing.
Looked on eBay. Someone had one listed for $700. Yeah, so I'm not replacing this statue. Ashley was like, you should have sold it before it broke. I'm like, well, first, I didn't know it was worth that much. And second, there's so much dust on these things.
Yeah.
And you got to use that, canned air for inhaling.
Puffing, yeah.
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 That's hardcore. You got to get through the bitters. I said that's hardcore. You can get through the bitters.
Yeah. Should we dive into news? Because I've got a lot of news tonight.
So do I. Let's see what matches up on our lists.
All right. Let's lead off. Nintendo is banning users on the Switch 2 who they have detected using a MIG Cart, which is a micro SD Switch cart used for playing backups and obviously pirated games. The systems are no longer able to connect online, and upon a factory reset, the system is basically bricked as it cannot sign into any accounts anymore. On top of this, it appears that this situation, they're banning the devices, not accounts, because people have gotten new Switches and were able to get their content on that console. But I'm sure if you fuck around enough, you can lose a whole account.
Find out.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You're going to fuck around and you're going to find out, and it ain't going to be pretty.
Yeah, so whether you're doing the naughty pirating or you're playing legit backups that you ripped yourself, the 1% of you that actually do that, don't use a MIG cart. Wait until they figure something out. Nintendo's not fucking around with this. So,
yeah.
What do y'all think about this? Do you think Nintendo's in the right doing this?
I don't know.
I understand why they're doing it, but I think it's stupid to brick a fucking system, because all these people are going to do is run the battery out and take it to GameStop or some other fucking place, sell it off, and then someone else is going to buy it, and it's going to be fucking useless. I've always hated the concept of breaking the goddamn system. That's so fucking stupid. It's a waste of all the goddamn resources. Resources that, again, we do not have a lot of in this fucking country. We have to pull them from everywhere the fuck else. Stop wasting the goddamn things. Ban the account or something. That's just as easy. Oh, they can make a new one. Well, now ban it too. They will eventually get fucking bored of making accounts just for it to get banned.
They won't.
Well, then, it's a great it's already an automated system, so who cares? Have it ban the account any fucking way.
To the corporation's credit, if they ban an account, they're not getting any money when someone makes a new account. When they ban a system, if people want to fuck around again, they got to pay more money.
Yeah.
So that's what makes people reconsider if they want to keep pirating or not. And when it comes to used consoles, that is absolutely upon GameStop to make sure these systems are workable when they get traded in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but do they actually do that?
Yeah.
I don't
Probably
know.
not.
They should. I know they did that with Xbox 360s that would get basically online banned because Microsoft wasn't fucking around in the 360 days when people played backups. Yeah. Jacob, what are your thoughts on this? You are suspiciously quiet.
I mean, Aki pretty much already said what I feel about it. Like, I think it's dumb to brick the console. Especially if it's just like some sort of SD card that could be ejected. Yeah, because I mean, like, that they're just going to probably resell it to an unsuspecting like video game store or something like that. And Yeah. Now, if there was some way for Nintendo to like reverse that bricking, then I think that would be one thing. Like if GameStop was just like could go to Nintendo and be like, "Hey, somebody just traded this one in. Please unbrick it." Okay, fine.
It's possible they can. We don't know yet. Like all this banning is like happening this week. So we don't know what the future holds for this situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot of bullshit on Nintendo's part, but yeah.
I don't know. I'm on their side on this one. Don't pirate, and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a new ad that popped up in the London Underground that is of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. It says out now. Some speculate it's supposed to have a coming soon sticker or something over it. And then others are wondering if we're going to get a stealth drop. What do y'all think?
I don't know. Did we have a date for that, or we were just waiting for more news?
No date.
I don't know anything. I didn't see any news about it, so
Subway exclusive.
Yeah. Oh, 3 hours ago? Jeez.
Yeah. New news.
Yeah, that is new news. Huh. I mean, there's also the possibility that the person just messed up and they weren't supposed to post it this early.
True. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see if Nintendo comments on this one, but
I find that interesting that it also says Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Like, is there going to be also like a regular Nintendo Switch version?
I believe so, yeah.
Huh.
I believe it's both systems.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the packaging mentions that it has the Switch game with the upgrade pack included. In small text on the bottom, something like that.
Support? No, not on this. Not on
I mean on the case. On the case.
Oh.
Yeah. Not on the ad.
Yeah.
An unnamed third-party publisher went to the game business and stated that their sales on the Switch 2 were, quote, below our lowest estimates.
Yeah, I saw that comment too, and that is very interesting to hear that third-party games may not be doing good.
Yeah. I think the two main factors are that, one, a lot of them are ports from other consoles, and two, most of them are key cards.
Yeah.
And I know key cards are not a popular item. I don't understand making a physical version of a game and not making an actual physical version of the game. It's like all the annoyance of a physical release without the benefits of saving storage space. I don't get it. Just buy digital. Why buy a fucking key card? It's a waste of plastic.
Probably because that way, if a kid asks for it for their birthday, they have something to open instead of just being like, all right, here's, here, go fire up your Switch. Oh my God, there's a surprise. Who knew Zelda was there? Like, I feel like that's generally why.
No, I'd rather them just make an actual physical version of the game with an actual cart with actual data on it.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I mean, I don't see the point in putting out a physical thing if there's no actual physical thing to go with it. I mean, nobody's going to hold on to that, game key for fun or like, for memories. I mean, maybe you would, but
I don't know. I do not at all see the point. Like, you still need the card into play. So it's the annoyance of physical, but you're still eating up whatever. Microsoft announced they have entered a new multi-year partnership for new Xbox first-party hardware with, quote, full support for your existing console games, and another, quote, in your living room and in your hands. Of course, people immediately started speculating that Microsoft was leaving the console race again.
Yeah.
I did see. All right, so that explains why, like, the one guy from Sony, like, chimed in on it. Like, yeah, it's fine if they leave.
I guess.
I'm like, yeah, of course you think it would be fine if they left. Like, no shit.
Yeah. I don't know. People are going to continue to doom Xbox despite the fact that they are literally saying, we're making another console. No, you're not.
The article I read was
it's happening.
they're working on a next-gen console with AMD, and I think Sarah Bond said something about the next-gen platform will not be locked to its own store or tied to one device for games.
Yeah,
Will not be locked to its own store?
In other words, there may be
Steam and
other
Epic.
for Steam. Yeah.
Huh.
Steam, Epic,
Okay.
GOG,
Oh my god.
Battle.net, EA, Ubisoft. Get all of them on there.
My god, maybe my my Steam and GOG libraries might finally get played once.
Yeah.
You wish.
No, I know they won't.
Yeah. I'm eager to see what happens, but at least people can maybe start to shut up that they're never going to do a console again.
No, they're not going to shut up.
No. Game Pass. Let's talk new Game Pass editions. We got a lot of games coming and out this week. Earlier this week, we got FBC Firebreak, Crash Bandicoot 4, and Lost in Random The Eternal Die. That's a good day.
Yeah.
June 19th, today, we got Rematch.
Less interested in that one personally, but it looks good.
There's a lot of positive buzz around that one. People are like, dude, it's like Rocket League without the cars. Yeah, it's soccer. It's just back to soccer. But it's, from what I hear, it's getting a lot of good buzz. Unfortunately, it doesn't have crossplay at launch, which they were hoping to have, so that'll come in an update soon. But I'm looking for Andy's covering that one, I believe, on Tuesday. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say about it. Next week on the 24th, we're getting Volcano Princess.
I don't know anything about that one.
Yeah, me neither. Oh, okay. Thought you were going to
look
tell
it
us
up.
about it. Ooh, exciting.
Looks to be a parenting simulator RPG adventure.
Parenting simulator and volcanoes. Got it.
Interesting.
That's a word for it.
June 26th. Bunch of PC games. Against the Storm is hitting PC and will be coming soon to series. And then PC is also getting Warcraft 1, 2, and 3 joining Game Pass.
Now, do those come with achievements or no?
No.
Oh.
No.
Yeah. Pretty sure they'll just be through Battle.net, but it links to the Xbox store.
Right.
Yeah. June 30th, Call of Duty World War II.
It's a good game.
We're getting another Call of Duty on there. And then July 1st, two classics are joining with Rise of the Tomb Raider and Little Nightmares 2.
Excellent.
Good shit joining.
Yeah.
There's some bad news, though. We got to lose a couple of games. 6 are leaving. Arcade Paradise is on its way out. Robin Hood Sherwood Builders. Journey to the Savage Planet, which makes sense because we just got the new game on Game Pass. SteamWorld Dig 1 and 2. And then, Jacob, this one's going to hurt you. My friend Peppa Pig.
They're losing the greatest Xbox game of all time.
Mm-hmm.
How could they?
They'll pay for this.
Mm-hmm.
Pay for this. Some news sites went wild this week that claims that Final Fantasy 16 was a massive flop on the Xbox and didn't even crack the top 40 on sales. The big problem is that when the store charts actually updated on Tuesday, the complete edition was number 11. The standalone was hovering around 20. You gotta love these sites doom posting with misinformation.
Yeah.
So, no, it's not a complete flop on Xbox.
That's why I only get my information from the SML podcast.
Man, that's a mistake.
I mean, yeah, but, you know.
You heard the people who give news on there?
Unfortunately, I'd have to listen to that son of a bitch on a daily basis.
Yeah. The last guy usually has the worst news. Always Disney bullshit.
I was already talking about myself.
Yeah, Marathon will not release in September. It has been delayed. No date.
Yep.
They're going to be retooling stuff. They are listening to the hate mail, and they're going to rework it.
Shrug.
Yeah.
That's all I could say about it. Sony appears to be removing restrictions on regions with Steam releases including God of War Ragnarok, Last of Us Part 2, Spider-Man 2, and Helldivers 2. So if you were in an unsupported region, now you can play it again.
Yay!
Yay. Good move by Sony. Borderlands 4 is confirmed to be a $70 game and not an $80 game. It has an Deluxe Edition for $100 and a Super Deluxe for $130. Deluxe is digital only. Standard and Super Deluxe are physical on PlayStation and Xbox. There's a GameStop exclusive collector's package that includes an 8-inch figure, necklace, 4 lithographs, and a cloth map for a whopping $150. No game. Everything releases September 12th.
I think they totally backed down the price after the negative reaction to Randy Pitchford's real fan commentary.
I think so, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he did so much damage control, tried to do so much damage control, and utterly
and it all
failed.
Backfired.
Yeah. Everyone was just like, please just shut up. Just shut up.
And he was like, nope.
No. I need to talk some more about this.
Leonardo was announced as the next character in Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny.
Nice.
So Leonardo in there, Michelangelo, and Tony Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
Yeah. Michelangelo's in Tony Hawk 3 and 4.
I approve.
Yeah, they announced Bam Margera and Michelangelo. House of the Dead 2 Remake is hitting Switch and PC August 7th. Other platforms will hit later.
Nice.
I'm excited. I love the first one.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. So, more release announcements. Harvest Moon Home Sweet Home, originally released last August on iOS and Android, is getting a console release. It'll be hitting Steam, PS5, Switch, and Series X and S.
Nice.
Yeah. Digital Eclipse announced its next project, Golden Tee Arcade Classics. It includes Golden Tee 3D Golf, Golden Tee 97, Golden Tee 98, Golden Tee 99, Golden Tee 2000, and Golden Tee Classic. It also includes some side games with Shuffle Shot and World Class Bowling, slated to release July 17th for $30.
Nice.
I'm excited about this.
I'm assuming those are golf games.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole series.
The ones with the
golf.
trackball from the arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was never good at it, but, you know.
I mean, that's expected.
Rude.
But honest.
They got to work with Capcom and get Capcom Bowling in there, too.
Mm.
That one was fun. Let's see. Limited Run 2 has requested that Nintendo remove Gex Trilogy from the eShop, as the game does not presently work with the Switch 2.
Oof.
Yeah. That's a bummer. Some more bad news. FIFA 23 servers are closing December 12th. 23 achievements will be unobtainable after that date.
Yep.
Yay. Last bit of news I have. Beat Saber announced they are ending support for PlayStation VR and VR2 starting now. The Lady Gaga release from earlier this month was the final song release for PlayStation. The game and DLC will remain available for purchase. And then the game is going offline on January 21st, so you will not be able to play multiplayer. This does not affect Steam version or DLC releases, or obviously the metaverse.
Quest, yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yep.
Yeah. Aki, what news do you have?
Absolutely nothing, because I am, as per usual, very useless. Woo!
Yay. Bree, what do you got that I didn't already steal from you?
Well, yeah, I think you stole like 3 things. I wouldn't call it stealing. We just had similar interests in the news this week.
Nope, hacked into your computer, stole them.
All right.
Yep.
New free content, Tavern Tales, is coming to Cat Quest 3 with a new look at bosses and some new characters on June 26th.
Ooh.
My God, my youngest is going to lose his shit. He fucking loved Cat Quest 3 so much.
So did I.
Like he has it on both, the Xbox version that we reviewed, but he also has it on his iPad, and like he's beaten it on both. Like when I say he loves this game, he loves this game.
It's a good game.
Is it now? Did you say if it's going to be free or is it paid DLC?
I did not see if it was free or paid. I just know that it's coming out on June 26th.
Okay. Cat Quest 3 DLC.
Could be free. They've had previous stuff that was free. Next bit of news I have is PlayStation Plus is going to start phasing out PS4 games on the service. As of January 2026, they will all but completely stop. There will be occasional PS4 games on the service, but they are being highly deprioritized.
I want to say we talked about that a few months ago.
Yeah. Well, there's a reminder.
Well, it's a good reminder, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of spaced on that too.
it popped up in my feed this week, so there is a rumor, this is just a rumor, that the new God of War game set in Greece is supposedly been delayed into 2026. It was supposed to come out at the end of this year.
Okay. I mean,
is that the one that's supposedly a 2.5D Metroidvania?
I believe so, yes.
I am highly interested in the game if it is a 2.5D Metroidvania.
All right. Dave Bautista and his production company Dogbone Entertainment are making a new franchise called Cat Assassin. It will include an animated series and a video game. It'll be made by the writers of Stray with a unique blend of humor, action, and stealth. It's said to be somewhat inspired by the immersive world of Assassin's Creed with the tactical espionage of Splinter Cell and fluid combat of Sifu, and features a gritty noir world.
That is very I didn't hear about this.
I'm extremely interested in this now.
I figured Aki would be interested once I mentioned those games.
Yeah, that's every game I want. So, fair.
Mm-hmm.
I figured I would have heard something through like the wrestling news sites, but they're not
so
covering this at all.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Huh. Cat Assassin. That's fantastic.
Cat Assassin. Yep. More Nintendo news. Not only is Nintendo Switch 2 experiencing stick drift, but now users are reporting faulty docks and Ethernet ports. Support is calling it a known issue, but if you haven't already, check your Ethernet port, make sure it works so you can get a repair or replacement done ASAP. And then it was pointed out to me, and I looked it up. There's reports on Reddit of battery swelling.
That's not good.
On the Switch 2 as well. And then there was a heist.
Oh, yeah.
$1.4 million of Switch 2s were stolen from a transport truck.
What was it, like 2,800?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's I had a bunch of Nintendo news this week. Let's see.
The best part is they probably have serial numbers for all of those, and Nintendo can break them.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually what I was about to suggest, because I know Apple will do that.
With phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when there were the issues in LA the other week, and one of the Apple stores like got broken into and robbed. Like the next day there were a ton of phones out front of the store with the alarms going off. That's like, please return to.
Yeah.
Your shit's stolen. You better bring it back because this alarm's never turning off.
Goodness. We had a lot of demos with Steam Next Fest put out. There's one game that's concerning people called Clover Pit. It's a roguelite or roguelike slot machine game that seems an awful lot like Balatro and is really addicting. It seems like it could get a higher ESRB rating because unlike its poker game inspiration, it seems more like it simulates actual gambling. But it's really popular right now, apparently.
Yeah, it says gamble for your life in a never-ending debt simulator. Oh. Yeah, ESRB might frown on that one.
Yeah.
Future Friends Games, we work with them. Might get to cover this.
There you go.
Yay.
Epic Games has removed a game called Dark and Darker from their store. Why it's news is because in a rare move, they're also removing it from players' libraries, refunding some upgrades purchased for the game. This is all due to a lawsuit between Iron Mace and Nexon. The publisher accused the devs of stealing assets and infringing on trade secrets. And so now it is being pulled from players' libraries.
I legit forgot about that lawsuit because that thing was so many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then I read the thing and I was just like, oh wow, when did this lawsuit? And then they said the Nexo thing and I was just like, oh shit. That was years ago.
Yeah.
I thought I saw something that the reason they're removing it from libraries is they're killing the servers. It's an online only game.
It is.
So there's no point in having it. And most people probably have it because I'm pretty sure it was a free giveaway on Epic.
It probably was.
It was. It's free on Steam too.
Yeah, it's a free-to-play game. But it was only certain things are getting refunded.
Yeah, they're not refunding the in-game currency, but if you bought the Legendary Edition upgrade or something, you'll get a refund for that or something like that. Some sad news. Pik Sen Lim, known for her acting roles on British and Malaysian TV, and the narrator of Dark Souls 1 and 3's opening cinematics, died at age 80 this week. And then my last bit of news, some game-related news. Disney, Hollywood Studios attraction, Muppets 3D. I hope that got Jacob just a tiny bit.
A little bit.
All right. But the Muppets 3D attraction has closed for good, but before they closed the attraction, it was all filmed for VR. There's no plans yet for any release of it, but it would be really cool to see something like that preserved in the gaming space.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool that they're doing that. So yeah, that would be nice if they made it available for everyone to still enjoy.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all the news I have.
Ooh, Jacob, what do you got?
I have a few bits of news. Alien Ant Farm is not going to be included on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 soundtrack. For whatever reason, they just aren't there.
That's a shame.
Yeah, Tony Hawk he went on record saying that he wanted to shuffle up the soundtrack and put some new stuff on there to give it a newer kind of feel. But
thank you, T.
Yeah, a lot of people are upset about Alien Farm not being on there because that was a good tune.
Yeah, I mean, I think if anything, it should just be you have the original soundtrack and new stuff. You just don't. I don't know.
I'm guessing a lot of it comes down to licensing. I don't think Alien Ant Farm came down to licensing. I don't think they're expensive to get. We'll give you a fucking pack of hot dogs. Yeah, put us in.
Fair.
So later this year, starting in October and running through April 2026, PlayStation The Concert is coming to North America. It's actually starting, I forget, the concert series actually starts in Pennsylvania. Oh, Williamsport on October 9th, and it's going to end April 13th, 2026 in Montreal, Quebec. So, yeah. It's going to feature music from The Last of Us, God of War, Ghosts of Tsushima, Horizon, and other titles.
Tickets are on sale now. Damn.
The owner of Nexus Mods has stepped down after 24 years so he could focus on his mental health, which very respectable thing to do.
Yeah, I can understand that.
He brought 2 new people up to do it that had been, working beside him, and he's been stepping away for a little over a year now, I think. So he's still going to be part of the team, but he's going to be letting other people do most of the work now. He's going to step back. He'll still be around, though. So, and sadly, his post got a lot of negativity. I don't know why, but a lot of people were...
People are dicks.
Yeah. Especially apparently on Nexus Mods. Jesus. It was bad. I felt bad reading those comments because I was like, I don't know who this guy is, because I don't know any of those types of people, but I'm like, y'all are being really fucking mean to him. Jesus.
Yeah.
So, Amazon has tapped the writer for Star Trek Beyond and Mindhunter to helm the Mass Effect show. Because apparently they just can't keep anybody on this. Which, I mean, to be fair, it's like, unless they're gonna do like each show, like each season is a different game, like first season is the first Mass Effect, second, like, I don't know. I mean, that's a huge ass undertaking to begin with, especially deciding like what storylines you're going to go with to cover like what's probably going to be like a 5 to 10 episode season series, because that's all they are anymore. And then last bit of news I have is about Disney Dreamlight Valley. Surprise, surprise. So the latest free content drop this week happened, where we now have Peter Pan joining, and we also get to explore Skull Rock, Skull Island, whatever the crap they call it. I don't know. Like, along with a new star path that is pirates and I think it's kind of Moana and Little Mermaid. So like ocean related stuff, but it heavily leans into the pirate trope. And so that runs for like the next 40 days. The star path actually looks kind of nice. I'm looking forward to earning some of the outfits for some of the characters, but I wouldn't know how well it's going because I tried to log in yesterday at 4 p.m. And now keep in mind, this stuff drops at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And they tell you, don't log in for the first 2 hours, to let us iron everything out. Yeah, 4 o'clock, it was crashing every single time I exited a building. So
nice.
Yeah, I barely got to touch the update, but what is really cool is that now in the premium shop, you can actually buy Max, Prince Eric from Little Mermaid, his dog, as a companion. And like the update that had been mentioned previously with the companions, you're now able to have like a friendship rating, I guess. I guess that's how you would put it, with your companions, much like you do with the regular characters. Companions are also able to carry stuff for you, which is pretty nice. And Max has a special ability where he can pick up sticks. If there's something in the ground, he'll actually dig it up for you. Yeah, it's really handy. Now, granted, it's steep in its price. It is 4,000. It's like 4,500.
It's unbelievable.
No, it legit is. That's like a solid $15 for this thing.
Yeesh.
Yeah. So
Purnell, is that a good price?
Fucking yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah. I like this better than a lot of the little paid updates, because those things are legitimately $20, and it's just like, oh, you have a fancy outfit for Wally, and that's it. No thanks. At least Max can dig up crap while I'm around.
Purnell, is Jacob gonna buy it?
Fucking yeah!
I already did.
Figures.
Yeah, of course it figures. Yeah, what? A big fluffy dog? Of course I'm gonna buy that. Yay! Yay!
All right, you got anything else?
Nah, that's it.
Shut through your mouth!
Yay. Review. Should we dive into these?
Let's do it.
All right, we got a bunch to talk about tonight. Actually, before we do, let's give a quick shout out to Ultimate Games. We'll be covering their game, God of Weapons, later on in the show. They donated some copies of the game to us to give away to y'all in chat. This is your mid-episode reminder that if you're listening to this on YouTube or MP3 or wherever, you're missing our giveaways. Come hang out with us on Twitch Tuesdays and Thursday nights. You can win some games. We're always giving away games. So, yay.
Yeah.
Get your entries in. First game to talk about tonight is Gatewalkers, developed and published by A2 Softworks, released June 17th on Xbox One and Series X and S for $24.99. Gatewalkers is a unique mixture of co-op game, survival, and RPG. You as a Gatewalker travel across different worlds in order to save your own. Explore procedurally generated worlds, face hostile inhabitants, challenges like extreme weather conditions, toxic atmospheres, lack of water, and more. Bree, what's Gatewalkers?
So this is not something I would typically go for, but I like to try something new once in a while. This is a co-op or solo game with survival and RPG elements and procedurally generated worlds. This game is really designed to be co-op, and it was kind of hard to play solo. You can play with up to 3 other players for team-based survival and share the tasks like building fires and tents. You can play online or offline as well. First, you get to create a character. You choose from basic gender options, preset hair and faces, hair and skin color. If you're a male, you can have facial hair colored too. No bearded ladies, though. It's pretty basic. There's no character classes. Instead, your skills are partly based on what you wear or what you wield. You are what you wear. The story, in short, is that your world's in trouble and you need to find resources and information from other realms. You can access some kind of Stargate-like portal. You can access different worlds through a machine, but the rest of the current world seems like a medieval fantasy life, and the so-called ancient society was highly technologically advanced. It really does kind of have Stargate notes to it. There are tutorial quests to help you learn how to do things. A lot of the tutorial sections are just a menu you can read things in as they are applicable. The control scheme is a little clunky and not well explained. I still haven't quite figured out the button to move things from my inventory to my quick use slots, but I did figure out to press down on the D-pad to eat and drink from my quick use slots. There are some voice-acted parts for major characters. It's weirdly loud in comparison to the rest of the game. This is called Gatewalkers, so I should talk about the gates. Whenever you go through a gate, you find a different procedurally generated world. You'll find different terrains, obstacles, and conditions. You might have a lack of water, poor weather conditions, toxic atmosphere. You select the world you want to go to based on your current quests from a high-tech control panel in front of the round portal gate. Graphics-wise, it's an isometric view. The art is just okay. It's not bad. It's just meh. Combat is skill-based, without auto-targeting. You'll have to dodge enemy attacks, and they can dodge or you can miss. You use the right stick to aim. You have a stamina bar you need to be mindful of. Certain skills you can use sap your stamina. They have cooldowns as well. I didn't enjoy the combat all that much. I would have liked to have seen like a roll dodge out of the way, something like that. There's crafting. So you need recipes, and you have to raid different worlds to find the resources you need to make things. There are different crafting stations in the main base for things like weapons, weaving, and food. And survival in this game.
How much crafting is in it? Like, I was interested in this one, but you just said crafting. I'm like, no.
I know it's a decent amount of crafting too, and the survival means more than just crafting. And once you're through the gate, you start the process of dehydration and starvation. So you need to have food and water on hand to avoid taking damage from it. You can craft things like bedrolls you can sleep on to regain health. The load screens have useful tips like that herbs grow near water sources, which were actually helpful tips because I didn't sit and read through all the tutorial stuff because I wanted to get to the action. I had an okay time with this one.
Just okay? Like,
yeah.
This is something I really wish we could have tried online. Because you're saying online makes it so much better. Here's
the
that
problem.
We were only able to cover it single player.
The game crashes a lot in online mode, like dashboarded me. So I tried to play in online mode. Yeah, the graphics were just meh. The game isn't bad. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah. Well, it's $24.99. What's your verdict on Gatewalkers?
The price feels a tiny bit steep too. I think like $5 less and I'd be fine with it. I'm going to give it a try it, maybe on a sale.
Cool.
All right. Next game to talk about is CarX Street, developed and published by CarX Technologies. Released June 18th on Series X and S for $29.99. Conquer mountain slopes, vast highways, and bustling city streets in CarX Street. Build the car of your dreams with fine-tuning that reveals the full potential of CarX technology physics. Take part in thrilling races offline or online and enjoy realistic gameplay and dynamic controls. Joe, tell us about your time with CarX Street.
Well, my time with CarX Street was a mix of joy and frustration. CarX Street is an open world racing game. Think The Crew, think Need for Speed, think Forza. The only problem with that is that this is not as polished as those other titles. To its benefit, it's not the price of those other titles, but it does have some pros and cons that both make it worth looking into and might scare some people off. The big thing with this game is getting ahead in rank with different racers that control the city, different clubs that control the city. You have to do a bunch of races in one club until you get to reach the boss and then take over the club. I haven't taken out any bosses, and I'll get to that in a little bit. There's also free drift sections where you can go to the specific areas on the map, and it gives you like a rectangle square area to just drive and drift around in. And the higher your score, the better your rating. The thing I appreciate with this is that it's not like get this much or you lose. It's you start with this, and as you get higher, your grade and your reward increases. So it encourages you to replay and try getting better scores. They have drift races, which have you going in like a start to finish race while getting drift score on there. There are sprint races that are just start to finish races. There's obviously circuit races where you do laps. The city is fucking huge. This map is massive in the game. I am incredibly impressed with the size of the map. I like that it starts you off in one small area, and as you progress, it doesn't necessarily open other areas of the map because you could go wherever at any time. It just highlights more on the map events that you can do and take part in. So it kind of encourages you to learn certain areas and branch out as you go. I lost my spot. There are hidden items. There are collectibles that you could get in the game. I had a hard time finding them. They don't really pop up on your map. I don't know if there's something you could get later in the game to reveal them. It just says a collectible's nearby. Sometimes it'll give you a distance marker. Other times it just says it's nearby. And then you kind of just got to look around for something covered in a red cloth. It's easier to do at night because the red cloth glows. During the daytime, a little more difficult because it kind of just blends in with everything else. There's obviously stores that you could buy more cars, bunch of different cars in the game, different speeds, different handling. You can go to parts stores. You could get different parts, outfit your vehicle in different ways, different tunings. I never got into that kind of stuff, so I didn't really mess with that at all. I focus just on racing and trying to progress in the game. It does have online modes. We covered this prior to its official launch, so I didn't really have to dabble much in the online. It was neat while I was exploring the city to just see other cars randomly pop up. You would phase through other users, which is good, so people can't grief you like crazy. I was in the middle of a race, and I saw a car just blaze through the track, which I'm assuming was another user. I just didn't know they could get into my races. Like, they weren't in the race, they just drove through it. It was very weird. Let's talk about some issues with the game. First up, AI is a motherfucker. I am repeating races over and over and over because I cannot get first. I am playing on easy. That shouldn't be happening. I have near perfect races, and I still get third place.
Oof,
good
that's
scrub.
not good.
Yeah.
They have nitro that you can use in the game. Every time I use the nitro, I did not at all gain on the other cars because they just went fast too. I couldn't gain on anybody if I fell behind. The only way I could really win races is if the computer messed up and ran into another car.
That sounds frustrating.
Yeah. It feels like they're trying to do the Forza thing where they want to keep it close until the end. It's just when it gets to the end, they forget to, encourage you to actually win so you could get further in the game. It's just like, no, we're out front. We're going to stay out front. Have fun. Bye. Try again. You get very minimal rewards if you don't win the race. Like if you win a race, you get 150 experience. If you lose the race, you get
Yeesh.
that sucks. You could get $5,000 in credits for winning a race. Get third place, you get 300.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's punishing. It's very punishing. The nitro just confuses the shit out of me because it's like the other cars are also using nitro at the exact same time as me. And it's frustrating to not be able to catch up in races. It is open world, so there is a little bit of off-road travel you could do, but this isn't Forza. Don't expect to plow through trees. Don't even expect to plow through lampposts.
Damn lampposts.
Friggin' light posts in the city. You can't take them out. You could do that in every racing game. I've lost so many races because I would hit something I thought I could go through, and it's just nope, not this one.
I guess that'll teach you to try and have fun. Shit.
Yeah. The AI cars in the game are pretty good. The traffic is pretty good. They seem to steer out of your way if you can. If you hit one though, it's gonna ruin your race. Don't even try finish. Just restart the race and try again. You will not catch up. You will not get any rewards. Just restart. Is there anything I didn't cover?
I was curious about the full potential of CarX technology copyright physics. I know you said you didn't play too much with the fine tuning, but what about the physics of the game?
It
itself?
seems like a standard racing game. It's not Forza, so you're not going to hit a jump and go 400 yards just off a bump. It does seem more grounded. The achievements are neat in that they have spend 8 seconds in the air and it's build up, so you get to see your progress bar go up, which is nice. Achievement tracking is good. Thank you, CarX, for having achievement tracking. The physics, it felt like a standard racing game. I didn't notice anything special with the physics in the game. I couldn't determine anything special there, but it controlled well. The handling was all right in most of the cars that I played with. There is no, at least that I saw, there is no auto braking feature in this on Forza. So you are going to have to, actually be able to handle the car in this game and manage turns. That might scare some people off. The lack of destruction might scare some people off. The AI difficulty will absolutely scare people off, but despite being rough around the edges, I'm having a great time with this game, just exploring and driving around. I enjoyed the scenery on the Series X. I did do a little bit of play on my Series S as well, and the graphics were noticeably worse. A lot of pop-in on the Series S, jagged graphics on the Series S. On the Series X, it looked great. I thought it looked and played really well. I don't know. I think that covers basically everything.
Well, it's $30. What's your verdict?
I think $30 is a solid price for this. It's not of the level of Forza, but Forza's a $60, $70, soon to be $80 game. This is a $30 game. I think $19.99, $24.99 would have been like an easier way to say absolutely buy this, but still at $30, I think it's worth checking out. I would give it a buy it if you're into open world racing games and you are okay with AI that's going to beat the shit out of you. Hopefully CarX hears this and does some adjustments with the difficulty. Let me feel like I'm making progress when I at least use Nitro, please. But yeah, I would say buy it.
All right.
Cool. Next game. Vasilisa and Baba Yaga, developed by Baba Yaga Games, published by Games Harbor, released May 29th on Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5 for $13.99. You will go on a journey with Vasilisa to the land of the dead to obtain the power of fire, which only Baba Yaga can give. Vasilisa already has a magical helper, a doll given by her mother, but this is not enough to deal with the evil stepmother. It is necessary to pass the tests of the mistress of the forbidden forest. Prove to her that Vasilisa is worthy to receive the power not only from her mother, but the mother of all mothers, Baba Yaga. Bree, Jacob, both of you played this one. Bree, start us off. What is this game?
All right, well, this story is based on the 19th century Russian fairy tale Vasilisa the Beautiful. Vasilisa's mother dies.
Yeah, I butchered the name the entire intro.
Oh, no, you're fine. Her father remarries a wicked stepmother, and before she died, Vasilisa's mother gave her a doll, saying that if she is ever in trouble, to give the doll food and ask for guidance. Her stepmother has sent her to her doom to find the fire of Baba Yaga. But when she feeds the doll, it comes to life and tells her to keep the doll nearby and go on this quest as planned, and everything will be fine. The game is narrated in the original Russian, and there are subtitles available in multiple languages. One nice touch is the ability to sit and read as long as you need. You just have to press A to continue. And if you read faster than the narration, you can press it early and move on. The art style looks like hand-drawn and painted folk art, which is gorgeous. It looks almost like lightly animated 2D paper art. It's mostly a 2D side-scrolling with some 2.5D fighting sections. The music is a mix of like folk lullaby mixed with a modern beat and some dark synth vibes sometimes.
Interesting.
Just going back to the art, I want to say that it is absolutely beautiful. It looks like a story. It looks like a storybook.
It does.
That you're playing. And to be honest, it is one of the best looking indie games that I've seen in quite some time. Like, it's a very striking visual style, and I'm totally fucking here for it.
Yeah. There's an encyclopedia of things you unlock as you progress in the game that gives you like a brief overview of the folklore. You have 3 saves to work with, and the game auto-saves at sections so you can continue your game, and you'll start at the beginning of the section you were on, and not at the exact point you left off at. But the sections are pretty short, so it's pretty generous. Like, you don't have to worry about that too much if you have to stop and save. On our journey, we ride in a boat and try and avoid vicious mermaids that want to see us drown. We walk on the bottom of a river.
That was such a pain in the butt. Like, it took me entirely too long to figure out how the mermaids worked. Like, because I'm just like, man, they're pulling me over all the time. And it's just like, yeah, because you're not, like, the game tells you, stay silent. Like, don't move.
Yeah. It's a stealth section. Yep. We walk on the bottom of the river trying to seek our way out and get grabbed by the large hands of an empty house creature, and we must fight the Vodionoi. We also have
guy.
to... Yeah,
Fuck
we have to fight our way through labyrinths.
That boss battle was absolute crap. I hated it so much.
Sometimes your labyrinth is in the forest, sometimes it's in the fog, where you reset every time you misstep, but thankfully there are footprints telling you which way to go once you choose correctly.
That was fucking clutch. I was really pleased with that.
Yeah, that was cool.
I was like, oh no, like, because I actually didn't see the footprints for like the first couple of times that I got shot back to the beginning of the labyrinth, and then suddenly I realized it, and I was like, oh my god, God bless him for making it so I don't have to memorize the whole thing.
The entire thing, yeah. There was a really irritating stealth section in the forest where you have to sneak past some trees, and if you fail, you go all the way back to the beginning of the section, which was very unforgiving and random.
Oh,
I had a hard time sussing out what the parameters for success were, walking slowly, stopping moving, or what, but eventually I got my way through it. The game's mechanics are a series of mini-games. You have to fight off the mermaid by using the doll to quickly smack the fingers of the creature to let her get them to let go of her boat. You have a series of QuickTime buttons to press in sequence to get released by the house monster, stuff like that. And then there are boss fights like the river monster. You have multiple stages of hitting the hands and getting to the face. And if you don't use salt to stun them, you can get stuck inside the jaw and have to fight your way out. You earn the salt by helping people trapped by the Vodionoi. Go ahead, Jacob.
Hold on. Wait. I thought you only got like 3 things of salt.
You do. You get 3 things of salt, but you get them per section. So you help. It's part of the plot. You get
Okay. All right. I was just like, because that boss battle was hard as hell. And, I was just like, wait a second, did Bree discover something that like I was not aware of?
No, evil spirits don't like salt. There are smaller fights with your doll protecting you with a paddle-like weapon, where you have to defeat the creatures of the forest, the swamp, the river, etc. And you have limited health, but infinite retries. You just feed the doll bread again to rejuvenate its health and start over. When we finally get to Baba Yaga's hut, the game changes a little. You get... we can get some of her fire if we work for her, otherwise she'll eat us. And we have a series of chores to do each day, like clean the dishes and weed the garden. And there are scenes each night where we wake up and we have to navigate through a 2.5D set of rooms to find a special chest. And along the way, we'll find horrors, monsters, and servant hands. And if you've ever felt like you had to fight with your laundry, in this game, you literally fight the laundry as a monster to get it done. I thought that was really cute. But yeah, it's a slow and creepy game, and I liked it. I say slow because it's not a fast-paced action adventure. It's deliberate and artistic. The art is beautiful. I love the folklore and the story. The pacing helps with the creepy atmosphere of a girl lost in a dangerous world of monsters. Some sections were a little frustrating where you get swept all the way back to the beginning of the section if you fail, but overall, I really like this one. Jacob, you have any other comments?
I really dug it. I do appreciate the infinite retries. But I mean, you're going to need it with the boss battles. Especially that one, like, that would scoop you into its mouth, and then, like, you know, you had to battle, like, the little dangly thing in the back of the mouth.
The uvula?
Yeah, thank you. It was just like... that boss fight took too damn long to finally get done.
Thankfully, they have like patterns to all the boss monsters are pretty similar. So it was like once you figured out the first boss, it was like, oh, okay, I kind of get what I need to do for the second boss, and it was a lot less effort.
Right. Still a pain in the butt. But otherwise, honestly, I really enjoyed this title. And it's one of my favorites so far of this year. So
nice.
This was a really cool title. I'm looking forward to seeing what the devs do next.
Yeah.
Very good. Let's talk price on this one. It is $14. Give us your thoughts.
I think that's a great price. Yeah, I'd say buy it.
Yeah, totally buy it.
Dope. Sounds good. Next up, Agarta, developed by FF Digital, published by Dolores Entertainment, released June 20th, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, and PS5. for $11.99. Agarta has been designed to show you how valuable and important every decision you make in your individual life, every choice you make is, because every choice you make is also a renunciation, and you cannot undo any decision. Jacob and Bree, both of you covered this. Jacob, start us off. What is Agarta?
So Agarta is this full motion video game where, if you've never played one of these kind of games before, it's essentially an interactive movie. And you are playing this serial killer who has seemingly given himself up to the cops, but he's also not telling the cops anything. They just know that he's committed all these murders. But they don't know who he actually is. Like, he doesn't show up on any databases. Like, he had no forms of identification on him. He has nothing, and meanwhile, stuff is happening that other countries are being we would kind of want to extradite this guy, immediately.
Yeah, he killed the Pope.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to spoil that, but, yeah, he killed a lot of people, including the Pope. And so most of the action takes place inside this police interrogation room between you and the police officer who is questioning you, and the game constantly reminds you, by the way, you're playing as a serial killer. Remember, what kind of decisions you're actually supposed to be making. And yeah, you get more of the story, and honestly, I felt like it was an intriguing political and psychological thriller. My main issue with it is that, first off, it's not in English. It's not dubbed in English. It's subtitled, which is fine. But the subtitles are they were clearly written by somebody who's English is not their first language. There were frequent misspellings, especially of the word two, because it was not they didn't recognize that, two, the number two, and TOO. And so there was frequent misspellings of that. Occasionally there would be phrases that it's it's grammatically correct, but nobody would say it this way, kind of thing.
Just the difference between translation and localization, really.
Right.
So, yeah.
And it was just, and also I was having a hard time, some of the decisions, it didn't seem like the game was recognizing that I had selected one of the things.
I had that happen once.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm glad it wasn't just me.
On a second playthrough, it was fine at that juncture. I don't know what it was.
Maybe the game makes you choose it.
I don't know. Could be,
because I did have some conversations where the other option was obviously locked based on other things, or I guess separate playthroughs. But all in all, I dug it. It's better than the last 3 full motion video games I've had to review on here, which admittedly is not a particularly high bar, seeing as one of them was Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. So,
you loved it.
No, I did not. But this one, I dug it, to be honest.
Yeah, it seemed like this was filmed with actual film. According to the credits, they used Fujifilm, so this was not digital. And I would say the cinematography was pretty well done. It was a very dark game. You can adjust the brightness in the settings, but there's that compressed video pixelated black that, happens when you have a lot of black going on. So that was just a noticeable thing. And the devs were Turkish, so that was the language of the actors. And again, I agree, the subtitles could have used better translation. Also, they passed kind of quickly, and they use a highlight that felt kind of hard to read. I read quickly, but it was small text. So that was, I'm on a small TV. I'm up in front of it, but still, it was, I just had to get used to that mostly. Some of the transitions were a little clunky. There were some continuity issues with the handcuffs that I noticed that just irritated me. And some of the story seems a little disjointed, and I think some of that's the language barrier. I think I got to understand some of the characters in the story a little better on the second playthrough, and it seemed less disjointed. I missed out on who like the father was originally. Like it felt like that was just kind of addressed weirdly, and then the second time it made a lot more sense because I had different choices.
I mean, like with the disjointedness, like I felt that was them taking it with like an unreliable narrator,
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Because I mean, again, like the game keeps stressing, like it stresses a lot. Like, by the way, you're the bad guy. Like,
yeah,
you know,
they want you to be sympathetic towards that character because he's killing because there's a lot of corruption. And he wants to purge the world of that corruption. And I think that's, not a unique take on a serial killer, but it's definitely like an interesting one from the perspective of like a video game where we get to be the serial killer making those choices. Some funny stuff for me. There were some very like 90s things that were stereotypical, like choker on the female officer in her off time. And the zippers at the bottom of the pant legs on the commissioner just cracked me up. And the serial killer was always in a vest, no matter what scene he was in, which was just great.
I mean, he was very well dressed.
He was dapper, yes. But yeah, I enjoyed it just as much the second time around as I did the first. There's apparently 19 different endings to the game, at least according to the achievements. And depending
the
on your
store
choices,
says 22.
Yeah, the store says 22, but the achievement says 19. So
bonus endings.
But there's a bunch of different endings, and depending on your choices, there are some very different scenes that you'll get with the other characters, like the serial killer's dad. And I think there's something like 100 possible selections leading to different outcomes. So
wow,
yeah,
well,
I enjoyed it.
$12. It is a $12 game. What do you two think of it?
Honestly, I think that if you're a fan of FMV games, like this is honestly one worth checking out. I mean, it's nice to get a story from not the usual publishers of this stuff, and I hate that I'm forgetting their name right now.
Like Wales Interactive.
Thank you. Yes, Wales, because they slam one out like at least once a year. And this one felt
talking the other day with someone about how it feels like they haven't put anything out in like 2 years for FMVs.
God. Maybe they haven't. Oh God.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go look.
Yeah.
But if you're a fan of the genre, like I definitely recommend checking it out. But if you're not so much, I mean, it's a wait for a sale at minimum in my book.
I mean, I could give this a buy it if you're an FMV fan and you go in understanding that you're going to be reading subtitles and that the translations are kind of off. Because I thought it was still a decent game for that. It's if you're completely new to the genre and whatnot, you're maybe going to struggle a little because of that language barrier. So,
right.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on. Next game, God of Weapons, developed by Archmage Labs, published by Ultimate Games, released June 13th on Xbox One and Series X and S for $9.99. Embark on a thrilling journey in God of Weapons, an action roguelike where you must ascend the Tower of Zor to reclaim the last light for the world. To survive the monster onslaught on each tower's level, you'll need to obtain and carefully organize weapons and accessories in your inventory. Jacob, before you talk about this one, what do you say we draw a winner of the game God of Weapons, courtesy Ultimate Games? What do you think? Should we draw a winner?
No.
What?
No.
How about now?
No.
How about now?
All right, fine.
All right, giveaway draw. Winner is congrats to Injury, who just won a copy of God of Weapons. Jacob, what is God of Weapons?
So, God of Weapons is, I mean, it's not, I want to call the camera view isometric, but I mean, it's not quite. But anyway, so it is a Survivors Arena roguelite. And you can play as all these different classes that you unlock as you keep playing more. And keep in mind, of course, with this kind of genre, you're also going to be dying a lot. Surprise, surprise. And one of the things that was equally frustrating with it is that it seemed like health stuff didn't drop as much nearly as it would have been helpful. Unless you got particular weapons or items that, you know, we're essentially stealing health from other people. But as you go through each tower, like, your health is at whatever percentage you left it as. But what it tries to do is that in between each level, you have to decide what you're going to have in your weapons chest. And depending on how much resources you picked up, you can expand your chest by however many blocks, and doing so makes it so you have this kind of puzzle to try and fit like whatever weapons or accessories and all that kind of stuff that you want to fit in there, so then you can make it to the next level. And like this kind of game, you know, from the beginning, you're going to be eating shit quite a bit. But then once you like start, getting more power and like getting better unlocks and stuff like that, the game really kicks into overdrive, and you're really just kicking like everyone's ass, and it is fantastic. Like you could, like with each class, you could choose which weapons you're going to start off with, but then you'll be picking, up all these different weapons, and it could be like some sort of like the Staff of Rubies, which was my favorite because like it operated like the Predator laser, like over like the back of your shoulder. And so it's just like, like just shooting lasers at everyone and just blasting everybody apart. Like it was great. I loved it. And then, there's other stuff, and of course, and you can combine them to make bigger or better objects, I should say. Which was also a tad frustrating because the game doesn't exactly explain itself. And so it took a lot of trial and error to figure out how that like mid-level like chest puzzle thing was going to work out. Because you can only take one item out at a time and place it outside while you take other stuff and like try to figure out how to swap it out. And so it just like there was some stuff that I was like, I know this will fit if I could just remove 2 items at the same time. But instead the game's just like, no man, only one item out, or you have to sell everything. And frankly, that was a real pain in the ass. The game also would not explain why you could combine some weapons and like other ones you couldn't. So when the ones that you could, that's super helpful. All right. Like, because boom, like my weapon is way more powerful at this point. But then when it wouldn't, it's like, oh great. Now I'm stuck with like 2 frost sticks. Like, like in my little inventory, what am I going to do with that? And at first I was just like, this is bullshit. I hate this, like blah, 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 blah. And then the next level started up and I'm just like, I'm back to mowing everyone down with my Predator laser. I'm now freezing enemies twice as quick. So I'm like, all right, this isn't such a bad idea, but, still a little annoyed because I'd like my variety. But yeah, it was like, it's a lot of fun. It's way more fun than I was expecting out of this title. And this is one I'm definitely going to be playing a lot. It's tough as hell. And, I have some issues with the puzzle thing, but it's fun. It's like between this and Keeper's Toll last week, like I'm on a roll with Survivor type games. So
very cool. We got to give a shout out to Ultimate Games because this is not a game like their usual releases. Like they do a lot of simulator releases, and this is just out of left field in terms of what I expected from them, and it looks really good.
Yeah, like it's a lot of fun, and I hope that they like take the chance to like make more of these kind of games.
Very good. Well, it is $10. What do you think?
Absolutely. Wow. Just 10? Hell yeah. Go for it.
$10 game. And if you buy in the next week, $9.
Ooh. Save $1.
Yeah, buddy. If you can't afford it, stick around because we've got more copies to give away. We'll do another one at the end of the show, then at the end of the music. Good stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Next game, Without a Voice, developed by Witz Games, L Cubed, and eastasiasoft, published by eastasiasoft, released June 18th. Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC for $4.99. In a departure from eastasiasoft's usual releases, this is a separate purchase on Xbox console and PC. A bundle for both is available for $5.99, so only $1 more. That's pretty good. In the depths of a forest, an exiled princess whiles her time in solitude. One day, a mysterious, beautiful maiden appears, throwing her world out of its alignment. A dark fantasy visual novel following the intertwining paths of these two women. In 7 days, the wheel of fate will splinter. Aki, what is Without a Voice?
Okay, so this is a lesbian visual novel, and it's fantastic because it's about lesbians.
And that's why you took it.
Just a little, yeah, a little bit. So, in this, you're playing as a young princess who has been exiled, basically. You had trumped up charges placed against you, making you considered a treasonous individual by the powers that be. So instead of becoming queen like you were supposed to, your brother became king, and he exiled you so that you would stay alive, supposedly. And now you're exiled into this little fucking forest on your own with no one around you. You know that your brother has some people watching you because you still write letters and get some resources and stuff, even though you're not allowed to go into town or leave the forest or anything. And you constantly go to this little clearing to feel better and to bitch and complain because there's not really much else to do in medieval times when you're exiled from being able to be anywhere but a fucking forest. So, shit happens. And you find yourself next to a beautiful raven-haired beauty. And, she starts talking. She is a little weird. And you get to make a lot of choices in your interactions with her and things that you do at home. And it has, I think, 8 different endings, I believe it was. It's not it's not a particularly long game. I was able to 100% it, I think, in a night. So you're looking at a few hours for your first playthrough, and then after that, it's not going to take any time because you can skip a good chunk of the conversation bits. In between everything, because lots of the choices end up with immediate changes in dialogue that very quickly go to the same dialogue that you'd see any other time, and then it leads to a completely different type of ending. So there's not a whole bunch of different routes to take when it comes to that, where you see completely new stuff. I think there's 2 really, and that's it. And they're not super crazy different. There are
did
a couple.
Did you play this one?
We'll put play loosely. I got the achievements, and I'm going to be reading it on stream probably tomorrow.
Gotcha.
You did the Scotty thing, and you just skipped everything,
but
didn't
I'm
you?
going to read it after.
Achievements come first, Aki. We all know that.
Yes, the achievements come first.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths, okay.
Actually, Joe does.
We all do. Except Aki. And it hurts her soul.
Yes, it does. All of you should probably be kneecapped for that. But yeah, there's not a lot I can say because, again, it is very short. I do think both the ladies are lovely. I think the character interactions were amusing. Granted, really only the first time, because after that, it was the parts I found were amusing were the exact same parts in every playthrough, sadly. So, yeah, I would have really liked if it made more sense how the endings came about, because it felt like a whole bunch of them were kind of just mild arbitrary differences that changed the ending dramatically. And I was like, nothing about this explains how you go from here to this ending. It doesn't make sense.
Well, let's talk price on this one. It's not an expensive game. It is a $5 game. If you purchase it in the next week and a half, you could get it for $4. What are your thoughts?
Totally worth it. Go get it, people.
Other
Watch
question.
Girls Kiss.
Other question. I'm only doing this because it's eastasiasoft and they don't do this often. You could get the Xbox and PC version normally for $6. Right now, $4.79. So $5. Normal price for one version. You could get both versions. Your thoughts?
If you're an achievement whore, go for it. It's easy. After you've read it once, you're good. However, it's also free on Steam. So if you really want a PC version, there's that.
Oh, there you go.
Like achievements. I'll throw money at it.
That is fair. It does not have Xbox achievements on Steam. That is fair.
There you go. Next up, Crazy Cats versus Crazy Cyborgs. Developed by Half Cat Team. I guess the other half are Cyborgs. Published by Xeneder Team. Released June 19th. Xbox One, Series X and S, Xbox PC for $4.99 each. This arcade shoot-'em-up game you play as Princess Anna, the savior of cat people. Fight against the attack of crazy cyborgs for 12 boss rush levels. Bree and Jacob, both you played this one. Bree, kick us off, because it's a cat game. Tell us about Crazy Cats versus Crazy Cyborgs.
Well, crazy cyborgs have invaded the planet of flying cats, and Princess Anna, a cat person, and disappointingly not a flying cat, must defeat the cyborgs and reclaim her homeland. This is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. You auto-fire slowly to start, and when you die, you get the
figure that out.
Yeah, when you die, you get the opportunity to spend your coins to upgrade. Just to clarify, by auto-fire, I mean you don't even have to hold a button to fire. There are no buttons to press, other than when you're in a menu. Upgrades include some standard stuff like fire rate, bullet amount, damage increase, a magnet, more health, and movement speed. And then you have increased frequency of pickups. The pickups are things like a cat combat maid to assist in battle, or a crazy cat gunner, a cat deity that increases your attack power for a short time, a cute cat butler that deploys an umbrella as a bullet shield, a cat goddess who grants temporary invincibility, and these crazy cat pickups look a lot more like anime cat people than the main character, who looks like a person with ears and a tail. So I appreciated them more than I did the main hero.
They did have more character.
Yeah, they really did. There are 11 short levels that are kind of like a boss rush. The bosses have pretty easy to discern patterns. The later ones like screen wrap in and out of the playfield. When you die, you go back one level to redo it before retrying the level you were on. When you complete the game, there's a survival +1 mode, and that keeps adding. So I completed that round, and it led me to survival +2. By the time I got to the end of +1, though, I'd gotten all the upgrades, and I had all the achievements before that, so I moved on. Jacob?
So what does the +2 do?
It just adds to the difficulty of the bosses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it. This isn't an overly difficult shmup. In fact, I was telling Joe that this is one of the few I've ever finished in one sitting, and it went by a lot quicker than I expected it to. I had it done in 28 to 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not particularly difficult. You're just going to go back and reinvest those coins into power everything up, and by the end of it, that +1 survival thing, you're breezing through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd say like the first 7 bosses. It's only once you get to that stupid Barracuda that that it becomes dicey again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of getting a Jetpack Joyride vibe off of this.
Not familiar with that one.
Jacob, you familiar with that one?
I know it by name, but I haven't played it in probably like 20 years.
This is $5 each platform. Give us your thoughts.
This was all right. It wasn't Sokoban, which was a huge relief. I think the progression was good. The pickups were fun. I don't know that I would give this a buy it because it wasn't anything revolutionary, but I can give it a fuck it, why not at that price. Like, I had a good time with it.
I can as well. I will warn folks who play it on PC, the buttons that supposedly will turn down the music and the sound effects don't actually work. And so, yeah, like when you think it's muted, it's not.
Yeah.
Yay! So, just a word of warning, but I'm also in the fuck it, why not
Cool.
boat.
If people are interested in that one, Xeneder gave us a few keys for that. We'll do that in another episode or so. So keep your eyes peeled. Hang out with us on Twitch. Next up, Night Quest Goblins Raid, developed by Headbear Games, published by AFIL Games, released on the 20th for Xbox One, Series X and S, and Windows Store for $4.99. Put on your armor, grab your sword, and get ready to face what no sane knight would dare. Noisy goblins, deadly traps, and platforms that seem to have a mind of their own. In Night Quest, you're the hero the kingdom definitely needs, even if no one warned you how complicated this mission would be. Jacob, what is Night Quest Goblins Raid?
So Night Quest is a 2D action platformer, and you're playing this little knight guy who has to collect a bunch of gold coins, which, except for like achievement purposes, really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. It's really just get from point A to point B. Yeah, so you're this little knight guy who, honestly, like, he looks like a buffed up chicken underneath the armor. Like, the sprite's kind of weird looking in my opinion, but whatever. And you're going through these levels, like, you can kill goblins. Like, I got to the point where I was starting to see whether or not I could actually do, like, peaceful runs of certain levels, just because, like, I was playing this for the triple stack. But yeah, it's like, it's a simple enough platformer, and some of the levels, they kind of remind me of like Super Mario Brothers levels, like not only with like things which are most definitely not thwomps, but also just some of the level layouts seemed very reminiscent of Super Mario Brothers 3. And like, especially like the early levels. But yeah, like, so before I tried the Windows version of this game, and the Windows version, you cannot like swap out the or change the control setup. It like, you're stuck with ASWD and using J and K for jumping and for waving your sword. And honestly, it was just like, it was painful, and like, that did not work well. However, on Xbox, you can use your controller, obviously, and this thing was a blast to play. Like, I was having a lot of fun just like going around, like trying to collect everything, going from point A to point B, killing like as many goblins as I could. But also, one of the things I really enjoyed about this this game was the backgrounds in it. They're just really deep, like very deep and like well done. And I loved how it
good.
Yeah, it's just really good pixel art, and I love how it hinted at like there's like hidden rooms or hallways that you're just not going to be able to get into, and it made me want to explore like the world that like you get to run around in. And it was just like, I was like, this is better than it has any business being. Like,
Bree, your thoughts?
So I don't know if I enjoyed it that much, but it was decent. I feel like I struggled on level 13. It was a little tough with all the dynamite guys staggered on the stairs.
Is that the one where you have to, like, there's an achievement for collecting all of the coins?
The coins, yes.
Okay,
yes.
yeah. That one, like, I eventually just
It took a while to
developed
get the pattern.
Yeah, like, you just have to run away, then, like, run back, jump, kill them, run away again.
Yeah. Yeah, that one took me a while. I looked like an idiot on camera doing it. But yeah, the action was fun. The achievements were a little delayed. Speaking of achievements, like they still popped, but they like took a while to pop for some reason. I don't really know why.
That is true. Like the ones specifically related to dying. Like whether you died by spikes or the things that are definitely not swamps.
No, they're.
Oh, sorry, no. I'm getting a call on my phone, of course.
$5 each. Give me your verdict.
Yes, I really enjoyed it. Bye.
Next up, Cyber Tank Nano, developed by Rapid Snail, published by Xitilon. This one comes out on the 26th for Xbox One, Series X and S, and Windows Store for $4.99 each. Now in Nano format, Cyber Tank Nano is a puzzle game which adds various mechanics on top of the Sokoban genre, like shot reflections, crumbling floors, and teleporters. All three, you covered this one. Aki, I think you got the furthest, so how about you start us off? What is Cyber Tank Nano?
It's a game where you play as a tiny little tank and you shoot shit. Okay, so in this, you're trying to get to an endpoint whilst also collecting these little cubes that are around if you want. I don't think technically you have to get them even for an achievement, but why not get them? There's only 3 in each level, damn it. And then, while you're doing that, there's obstacles that'll appear, like you have some little turrets that'll show up that'll shoot you if you get into their line of sight, and the only way to kill them is to shoot them from the front, which you can't easily get to, because if you go in front of them, they kill you automatically before you can do anything. So yay, fun. So you have to either break their line of sight that's directly in front of them by putting a block in front of them, another turret, what have you, so they can't shoot you, or you have to find some way of curving bullets through mirrors to shoot it in the fucking face. And other than that, you occasionally have little pitfalls into water that will kill you, or if you can shoot a turret into that, it'll kill it too. Woohoo! Or destroy just about any other block. It's great. There are square blocks that you can shoot into it that will become like a landmass for you, so you can drive over that part. And yeah, there's also portals occasionally and ice that you can slip on just going in one direction, and little blocks that have arrows on them that send you flying that direction until you either pop off of them or hit something else. And yeah, that's the basis of the game. Figure out what you're doing and finish the fucking level. The end.
It's a puzzle game.
There was an issue with this game not being completable, correct?
Yep.
And that's been fixed. Give us the info on that.
Originally on level 26, which most of y'all aren't going to get to without a walkthrough, there was a section that wasn't right. There was 3 pathways you could take partway through the level, and all 3 of them threw you directly into fucking water. And originally I was like, oh, there must be missing blocks here. No, they can. It was some of those platforms that automatically shot you different directions over an area completely encased in ice, other than those few spots where it was just water. No, some of those arrows were facing directions they weren't supposed to, so...
Bree, what are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, as far as puzzle games go, it felt slow and not as rewarding as I wanted. I thought the concept was interesting. I was not expecting it to be a puzzle game when I first saw, Cyber Tank Nano. I expected it to be a tank game. So it was a neat concept. It was a little bit different. I didn't even think of Sokoban until I read the write-up. So that's also good because it means that I wasn't like immediately turned off by more Sokoban. But yeah, I got stuck on level 17. I haven't checked to see if there were any changes to level 17 since the patch, but that was where I got stuck. I need to go back to Agi's instructions to see if I can get past it again. But yeah, it was okay.
$5 each. Give me your verdict.
I think it's a fuck it, why not? I thought it was perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'd put it as a try it. It was okay. It was a little tough.
It's unbelievable.
All right. One last game to talk about tonight is Football Mini Stars, developed by Inlogic Software, published by Silesia Games. This is somehow not a cat game from Silesia. Released June 18th, Xbox One, Series X and S, and the Switch for $2.99. Enter a colorful world that's looking for a new football star. Defeat your opponents with your amazing skills and take the cup home. Get through the tutorial, master the game controls, and choose your team to start your career. Defeat all your opponents while collecting achievements and have fun with the different game modes. Become the biggest football star ever. Bree, how's football?
Well, this is a soccer game, not American football, where you control cute, big-headed mini characters toward team victory. When you first load in the game,
It's footy.
I know, it immediately throws you into a tutorial where you learn to shoot, pass, move, tackle, and do tricks. There were a few fun sections, like the floor is lava, where you burn if you leave the green path appearing before you, or brick wall, where you try to clear the field through all the obstacles, but you have to do it quick because there's a wall coming up behind you. The control scheme is a little different. You use the left stick to aim, and pressing B launches the ball. The longer you press, the harder you hit the ball. Right trigger does a trick, or when held sprints. Pressing X slides, passing is done with A, and I think tackle is also on B. So like if you're not holding the ball, it's a tackle. If you're holding the ball, it launches it. So be careful. You can play one of a few ways: quick match, career, or events. Quick match lets you choose your team's location, weather type, and match length, which is anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes. Career allows you to edit your teams, check your stats, and work towards seasonal objectives as you work through assigned matches. And then events have you pick from a limited selection of teams as you go through a series of challenges like penalty kicks, running the field of obstacles against the clock, stuff like that. It's basically a series of mini games to help you learn the game better, in the same vein as the tutorial. There are daily quests you can do, like slide 2 players in a match, shoot a hat trick 2 times, and pass 15 times. And these activities earn you coins you can use to buy alternative team shirts in the shop. There are at least 20 different outfits to get. There are other quests you can do, like internal achievements for passing so many times or tricking players so many times. So there's plenty of opportunities there to earn coins as well. As I kind of mentioned, you can edit your teams. There are tons to choose from around the world. You can sort by region to help you narrow down your picks. There are different trophies to earn in the events, like the Champions Cup or for daily challenges. I think this game assumes you know soccer rules because it doesn't really tell you anything beyond the basics of playing. The music was pretty upbeat and made me feel excited about being there. I liked the mini games more than playing soccer matches because I felt they were like mini chunks that were instructive. I had a surprisingly good time with this game so far, and I look forward to playing it some more.
Very cool. It's a $3 game. Silesia is very well known for their absurdly expensive games.
Yeah.
I love how affordable Silesia is with their releases.
I appreciate that as well.
Yeah, $3 on this one. Give us your thoughts.
I would say buy it. If you like soccer, it's a fun little game. If you're new to soccer, I don't know that this is going to like teach you all the things, but like it's a pretty accessible game to just like mess around with. So yeah, buy it.
Cool. And if for some reason $3 is too much for you for the next week and a half or so, available for $2.39.
Yeah.
So, save 60 cents. All right, that is it for this episode. We made it through all the way to the end. And because we're at the end, what do you say we draw another winner for God of Weapons, courtesy Ultimate Games.
Kinky Bojingles, let's do this shit.
Let's do this. Giveaway draw. Our next winner is Sir Khaled, who entered for Trash Rando. So GG to Trash Rando. You get yourself a Vidya game. Yeah. Congrats to the Trash and Sir Khaled for getting the win. And that is it for this episode. We are done. Thank you everyone for hanging out and being here. Music this episode because we ended with some sport ball. Let's play some sport ball. The song Paragon is an Asshole Part 2 from the Tiberian Sons taking on the Fox Sports theme. Sound good?
That was a mouthful.
Yeah, you lost me about a quarter of the way through that. So yeah, sure. Yes, totally.
Tiberian
Fuck
Sons.
you said.
Jacob's a pro. Mouthfuls.
Yes, he is.
You just wish you had $1 million mouth. Instead, you got 350.
Well, we can't have all sucked 1 million dicks, Jacob.
Do I hear a tinge of jealousy in your voice, Joe? Because it sure sounds like I do.
With that kind of chiseled jaw, obviously.
All right. Anyone have any final words?
I mean, I thought we were talking about my blowjobs.
No.
Oh.
Blowjob skills, not blowjobs.
Oh, well, if it's skills that we have to have a discussion about. So anyways,